This is really a pretty snow we got going on here this morning. The only problem is it's March 7th. This would be a whole lot nicer on about, December 22nd, right before Christmas, or even Christmas morning. This would be quite delightful. But it's March, and it's already getting muddy. So underneath all this snow is just slop and mud. So you don't even really want to go and move it. I'm just going to end up shoving more gravel and stuff around than what I'm actually going to gain. So we're not going to move this snow. We're just going to let it get sloppy, which is miserable to work in. Get the cattle some water. Start that. That's some fun. And go over through the slop again. Most of this part of my yard, the water all funnels up to there and right down in through here where I gotta drive the feed wagon to feed cows. This yard was set up and designed many years before I decided to put feed bunks down that way, so that's my fault. But at least for most of the years that I've been using the feed wagon to feed cows, it hasn't really rained. So it hasn't really been wet down there. All right. Good morning, tractor. Good morning, scale. Oh, hello to you too. Such a polite scale. Says hello every time you turn it on. Even if that scale were in a bad mood, it still greets you. Hello. Every morning. Get you unplug while you warm up. Get the hydraulics all toasty. Go feed kittens. All right, back out to the old hog barn. This is now for chickens and cats, occasionally some cattle. I had miniature donkeys in here at one point. All right, hello kitties. Are you hungry? This is one of my least favorite parts of my morning chores. How many hungry kitties do we have? I see 5 of you looking at me. And I know some of you are kind of grouchy, and you just might want to claw my eyeballs out when I stick my head up in here and give you a feed. Are we ready? Well, oh yeah, I hear you hissing at me, and I can't see you. There you go. There you go. There's your food. Now get me out of here. Oh, get me out of there. Yeah, you too. So long, cat. All right. Let me turn the light on for everybody. They got plenty of water. Pretty sure the chickens do. Chicken water lasts twice as long as the cat water. So if the cats have water, the chickens do. And no matter how nice and dry and wonderful I keep those nesting boxes, the chickens still just lay their eggs wherever they darn well please. You. 4 eggs when it's been so cloudy and snowy. Pretty impressive for 8 birds. Excuse me. Excuse me. Left in here when I gave these guys bedding the other day, the bale buried all the twine string, and I figured give it a few days, it'll show up. And here it did. And so with this, I get to revert back to about 2nd or 3rd grade. Those of you who went to elementary school where I did will know what I'm talking about. We learned how to make balls of yarn and knit or make these scarf things with a board, and it had a bunch of nails around it. Never thought that that was going to do me any good. I was not very good with either of those projects. I'm sure that every teacher, adult in the world would have seen the fact that I could not sit still. I had absolutely no attention span, and I'm sure they all said, ooh, the ADD is strong with this one. Here I am making a ball of string, or yarn, or twine. Never underestimate the things that we learn in elementary school that you'd never think are going to apply to you as an adult. There we go. I'm really surprised that this auger works with that much snow and ice in there. I'm a little afraid that tomorrow morning, if we get a little above freezing today, that's all going to melt and go down in there. There's no way to take that screen off of there without grinding and cutting all the welds off. It's welded on there, so I can't take it off to get in there to really clean that out much better than what it is, or else I probably would. So, fortunately, the thing keeps running. I've had it in an ice storm where you get ice in the pulley on that motor and just swung the belt right off of it, which really wasn't that hard. It's a lever to take the tension off, put the belt back on, tension it up again. But I'm kind of surprised it works. This is a handy little electric auger when you get, I don't know, 30 or so bushel out every couple days. Where are we at? 1650. You need to get her up to about 1800 total. There's 17. So that's usually my time to shut it off time. And get myself over here so I don't get too much over. It can go over a little bit because there was some snow in the hay and the wet cake, so there's going to be just extra weight of it that's just water. That'll be about right. Clean it out. 18, 20, 30. Perfect. Let that mix up for a minute, and put my handy dandy cover back on. I don't know if I can get it on there real good, but keep most of the snow out of it, I think. Let's do a little better than that. Lead it to the north, so the wind holds it on. All right, hooray chores in the snow and slush and slop. And I know where that dog is going to want to go right when we get back in the house. Right in on the carpet. I'm going to, before I forget, take this way and get it shut off. It's hooked onto a battery down there. The problem is you got to remember to charge that battery every so often. And I'm not very good at remembering things like that, so I do have the ability to plug it into the tractor. The problem is, every once in a while, I forget to shut the scale off. And then it drains the battery on my tractor, and then I can't even start the tractor in the morning. Pick the poison. Oh, and also, coming soon, we have some little surprises.